tap here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken near the 13. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. After the penalty, it's Ingram, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. And it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This time, Jackson will throw it. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They'll look to run with Ingram, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Ryan, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. It's a big play there for Atlanta. And even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Freeman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3. And look at this, it's a fake. But he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former 1st-round pick, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Jackson. Going up top. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the 1st. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Come on.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Josh Bynes. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to air one out, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big And look at this, another fake, but he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Jackson, Roberts got it. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
A gain of 7. First down, Ravens.
Set, ready. Not a wolf. Hey, man. Watch the boot.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Here we go.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. 14 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Well, Charles, as this offense comes out here, let's talk about the AFC Championship game coming up. Kansas City hosting Tennessee. The Chiefs the winner over the Texans in the divisional round. But even before they took the field, they got a surprise gift on Saturday night with those Titans winning in Baltimore to set up the unexpected matchup.
But sometimes a gift isn't exactly a gift because they...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there, Ryan to Jones, 49 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Ryan. Caught by Jones. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I like that. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's the fullback now. It's Keith Smith. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
After a play like that, it should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. A loss of 1 yard, and it brings up 4th.
This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. It looks like he's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, there's 2 sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case...
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 79 yards as the Ravens push further out in front.
Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Charles, as the Falcons come back out here on offense, you got to help me process their 2019 season. One thing for sure, fair to say that they were a second-half team, as in second half of the season, because this club started 1-7, 6-game losing streak, weeks 3 through 8. The talk about Dan Quinn maybe
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Ingram, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Jackson now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Now it's Ingram. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And down to the 27-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Well, as they come out here to set up shop for this next drive, let's talk about the NFC Championship game coming up. San Francisco hosting Green Bay. Who's the road teams winning in the wild card round? Seattle, Minnesota.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
To throw again on second down. Jackson throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, Ingram. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Looking deep for Julio. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
So the sack pushes them back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. He sets to fire deep. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every...
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. But he will not make the first down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But the defensive guys, they have to with special teams. It looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And again, it's Ingram. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. The last 2 runs have gone nowhere, and now another showdown looming on 3rd and goal. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Tucker's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now,
You're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone, as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Ryan, he's going to air one out. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. Now Ryan on first down. Going for the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
The throw is Ryan. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's...
And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Look right.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well, and you would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so. And I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He's going to go for a big play downfield. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. As an inside linebacker, got to be a little bit more poised.
No doubt about it, because they get a little bit of flexibility, especially when they're trying to stuff a gap. You know, we get that double A gap look. This time he got too eager and got too deep into the backfield.
Encroachment, defense.
So it wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation, because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Domada Peko racks up the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Here's Ryan, looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step.
Now they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that.
The big fella, the 20, 10, and oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, 56 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Ryan, it's hauled in by Hardy. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Good job, team. Good job, team.
He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. Ryan now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or he keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness. What?
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jalen Ferguson leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. The Falcons on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Ryan. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Throwing again. Ryan. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Ravens are going to get the football back.
I'm just going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big. They had to try something. No one was fooled.
I think you're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt him too much. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target. Deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson letting one go. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 58 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now it's Ryan. Under pressure, they got him again. Josh Bynes in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Ryan to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one covers 20. $4 yards. It's a 1st down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. that size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally. On first and 10, it's Ryan. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Jalen Ferguson in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Ryan. And his throw is going to be incomplete. They were looking that time to get it to Justin Hardy, and it'll bring up third down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on fourth down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach have already made that decision.
On fourth down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake, but he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 at their own 46. Ryan looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
25. Who that?
first down. Well, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw again, Ryan. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then they don't come down with the football.
And it's complete. Hooper. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. This has been Blowout City.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Ryan looking deep for Julio. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Ryan. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge...
And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. The number 7 usually... Lucky here, not for... Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson. Now Jackson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked up. He's going deep for Brown, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They go for it on fourth down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On second down, it's Ingram, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Play action. It's Jackson. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This opening drive has taken them to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
Martin, I think we can all agree that that was a pretty darn good opening drive right there. And the key to it all, going for it on 4th down earlier in the drive. Set a tone for it. And the best part, they made it pay off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the man taking number 3 overall back in 2008. It's their now veteran quarterback, Matt Ryan.
And at times, it's hard for me to believe I'm saying veteran Matt Ryan. Still remember him coming out of Boston College, full of enthusiasm, mastered their 2-minute drill in his first OTA. What a player.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. And his throw here is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Matt Judon gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Ryan. And that is incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. He's going to look deep down the field, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game, what were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there was a time to be aggressive. Now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 13 yards out, as the Ravens push further out in front. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
And they're able to ground it in there on the two-point try, and you and I were talking before the game. The two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Bynes leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the...
And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Now, remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. Now Ryan. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
A huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and forever. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Jackson now. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got it at the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that's going to open the lead up now to 3 scores at 18-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain that time, but it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 29-yard line. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far.
But certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
Ryan's pass, incomplete on the jump ball. Coverage there by Earl Thomas.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. Throw left side complete. That's Blake. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. Yeah, Freeman was trying to work his way forward, but I don't think he got there. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of...
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And they're able to pick up the 1st and keep possession. Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there. Offense back out now for 1st and goal after the successful fake. They'll run here with Freeman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the 1st quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please...
And this is caught for a touchdown. We'll check the flag, but it looked like a clear offsides, and it should stand. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. His throw incomplete.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
What was that? Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
As Baltimore makes their way back out here, Charles, I'll ask you the question everybody is asking about Baltimore. Are they the team to beat in the playoffs? They sure look like it. They haven't lost since September 29th, 12 wins in a row to finish the season, and now they face the Titans.
And who did they lose on September 29th? Who did they lose to?
The Browns.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And they got run out of the stadium.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now another timeout called for by the offense, and that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end Boyle, and he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Josh Bynes able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Ryan. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 53 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. This is Freeman. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the Prius big gainer.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. He uncorks it for Snead. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
But you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
I mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. This time Jackson will throw it, and that will be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Tucker's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. And how does he... rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Ryan gets it to his tight end, Hooper. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Freeman, and he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Jalen Ferguson picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. And pretty darn well executed there. Just a nonchalant flip over the shoulder. But that's not easy. You have to time that right, and they did.
They certainly did, and it wasn't just the flip, right? They timed that up. But then the pass downfield to pick up the first down. So you really get 2 times the ball's in the air, and they did it successfully. Really well done. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On third down, Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 2 yards out, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed 2-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the 3-point shot, and people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2 for 1 is coming into play in the NFL.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on... First down, but he couldn't reel it in. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Here we go.
Jackson to throw again. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 67 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Now Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the foot. Ball back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
On first down, Ingram. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
Now, hold on a second. Why would they decline that?
Let's go.
Charles.
I don't have a good answer for you, but let's work the math here a little bit. If you take the penalty, you get 5 yards. Minimum.
You're in the positive in the yardage, and you get to rerun the down you just had.
I like that. I like that little extra on top of the whole thing. This makes 0 sense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. This is Ingram. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. He can run for it, and he will. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Ryan going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
In fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So 4th down coming up. What do you expect?
They've gone for it time after time. They haven't punted yet. I don't know what's right anymore.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So here's the punter, Ryan Allen, to kick this one away. And how about this, a fake? But he will not make the 1st down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So that one will be accepted.
Still 1st down.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. To throw again is Ryan. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah,
Then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Not today, you are.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He's got the 1st down here inside. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a...
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down. Ryan.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Encroachment. Defense.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. They'll run on 1st down. It's Ingram.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a second and about a mile here. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. He uncorks it for Snead. That's caught inside the 20. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 45 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So, two thoughts come to mind. One, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number two, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be...
And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points.
Keep playing hard.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
And a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. On 2nd down now. It's Ingram. Room to run past midfield. There goes Mark Ingram. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 20. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here, get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet.
And how about this line out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. But gutsy call there. Yates at the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller is thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from...
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And between the last two plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, Captain.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent size, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Now it's Ryan. And he is going to go down here, but we also have a penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. They may have jumped the gun. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Encroachment. Defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot. And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back. They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
Hey, you got 3 down.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. He completes it to Jones. He's at the 30. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there, Ryan to Jones, and even 50 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction. Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. Now it's Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Let's set a tone.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Russell Gage there to make the grab. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Patrick Owasor, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Ryan to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Matt Judon giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Ryan. And able to find Graham, complete. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give him credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now. On presumably to punt, though he did. And look at this, another fake. But he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, but usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. This pass into the arms of Snead. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line. And the lead is going to stay right. Where it is. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Justin Tucker, the kickoff for Baltimore.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
To throw is Ryan. Throwing left side, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards. So tough to cover a big tight end like that.
It changes the chalk, as one of my coaches like to say, meaning the normal things don't apply. I used to say, okay, there's a tight end going out. We're either going to put a big linebacker on him or maybe a safety and call it a day. Now, because of the strength of that position and the sheer number of catches that they make as well as their dexterity, sometimes you have to put a cornerback on him because he might be the primary guy going out for a pass. It changes what they do defensively, and it's usually not good for the defense.
They come up in an offset eye. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Encroachment, defense.
He moved from your former position senior year, strong safety.
Yeah, sometimes they get you up near the line of scrimmage or you're trying to time up a blitz. You've got to get it right. Otherwise, that flag comes out and you just cost your team some yardage.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. Freeman unable to get free here on 4th and goal. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line.
We own it. We own it.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
First play of the drive, excellent run, just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. It'll be a loss of 13 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. The ball resting on their own 5 here as they come up to the line on 2nd and long. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
21.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot.
As he tried to pull that one in, couldn't hang on, third down.
Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. A good pickup there, 22. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
And that last penalty makes his third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
To try again after the sack. Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. This offense has gone for it 5 times already. They're now going to go for a 6th fourth down try. Looking in zone for Jones. And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Well, no shock here. For the 7th time in this game, it appears they'll go for it on 4th down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. Oh, looked like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a first down. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
So the penalty now moves it up. It's 2nd and 10. Now Ryan able to get away. And he's going to go down again.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Here's Ryan. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Josh Bynes able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now it's Ryan. Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Freeman. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Ryan. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Jalen Ferguson. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Encroachment, defense.
An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
4th down. Here's Ryan. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Instead of making him earn it on 4th, they jump and give him the first.
I love the way you just phrased that. Didn't really have to earn it, did they? Bad discipline on the...
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
They'll try and run with Freeman. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
You got it.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
And the Ravens taking the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
He uncorks it for Snead. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for the Ravens. 57 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Yardage here to the 31-yard line. My word, it'll be nothing short of a monstrous loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and forever.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. To throw is Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Meanwhile, here, a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. A big loss there of 9 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is taken at the 23. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, this is a nice little gift wrap situation as they take over 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And they will force him out of bounds well shy of the goal line. My goodness, it'll be a disastrous loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Ingram again, and he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's Ingram. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
That cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. This looks like a free play for Ryan. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Encroachment, defense.
As an inside linebacker, got to be a little bit more poised.
No doubt about it, because they get a little bit of flexibility, especially when they're trying to stuff a gap. You know, we get that double A gap look. This time he got too eager and got too deep into the backfield.
Well, they didn't really have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having earned much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
Encroachment, defense.
So it wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation, because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated.
Automatic first down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan is going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things.
And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
That cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a chance here to make this a 2-score swing, maybe even take the lead.
And it wasn't that long ago in this game. They looked like they were a little bit out of it, didn't they? But how about the safety? Get the ball back. Now a chance to take it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Encroachment, defense.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Encroachment, defense.
An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now it's Ryan.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Ryan. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Encroachment. Defense.
An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
Defense.
Let's check in with our referee. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons have taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college Did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and I was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2. They'll try and sneak it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Stepping up, he'll try and run. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Letting one go deep for Roberts. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Seth Roberts, 51 yards, and the Ravens have retaken the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Let him know.
They'll try and run with Ingram. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And the kick goes outside the white lines. That's why the flag comes out.
Yes, and that was an error by the kicker, and it will give the offense great starting field position.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. He completes it to Jones. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks...
And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta. Now Ryan on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
On 2nd and 10, Ryan, he's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20.
Turnover. That's what we do. Other way. Let's go.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And what is going on here? Are they serious? 1st down, and they're in punt formation. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. So Matt Ryan of the offense, down by a field goal, 2:14 to play. They're out of timeouts. Now they will have the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Here's Ryan to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He misses yet again. The struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. This is brought in by Hardy. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Well, they did the part they had to do. Quick throw got the 1st down.
But that doesn't allow them to relax. They still have plenty of work to do.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He's back to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Offside defense.
So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You said you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? You already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, I think they knew that that one was going to be a long shot, but in the end, it's looking like they're going to come up short.
And it's tough to really hang too much blame on your kicker here either. That would have been well above and beyond his range, and this will go down as a tough loss. They played well enough to win.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really...
You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we